Hi and welcome to this Libra inspired reading here on YouTube. I am Stefanie and I am using the tarot and the Western astrology and their symbolism for creating a picture for you that you can work with, and asking the cards maybe to tell us what we can focus on at this time and how we can really reflect and develop and grow. So let's see what we have in store for this time. It is a Libra inspired reading. That doesn't mean it's only for Libras. I'm, as I said, merely working with the symbolism. I'm not an astrologer, but it is very connected to the system of the tarot cards. So that's why I'm also using astrology. First part of the reading, we will look into a general energy. In the second part of the reading, we are looking into a relationship dynamic. And I'm asking you to subscribe to this channel, to like, to leave a comment, and check out the description box for all the information you need. And maybe even, follow my other social media channels. So, all right, let's get started. We are in Libra season, so we already have a Three of Cups. Time for a celebration, of course, for the Libras. Good time to meet up with friends. Maybe you're celebrating your birthday, which would make a lot of sense, of course. Okay. The Death card, it's funny. Funny. Death card is not necessarily funny, but it's funny that I have this Death card coming out for Libra readings, and I myself, I am a Libra sun, all the time. And I think it's a very freeing card here for us. It's a very positive moment for us because we can really make ourselves ready to free ourselves from deeply rooted things that we don't need anymore, that are kind of dead, that are dead weight, that are maybe environments, people, places, things, thoughts that really need to stay where they are as we move forward. The Death card for me is a very, very freeing card, and also kind of a relieving card in a sense, because also when we look at the I want to say process of death, how it often occurs in nature, it is an organic process. It is very, very seldomly something that happens very quick, very fast, very sudden. That's more the exception than the normal process. When people, places, or organic things like plants or animals die, it's often a process. They don't die from one second to the other, and it just means that our physical body really deteriorates and mixes in again with the rest of the earth in reality, and we're building new fertile ground, therefore that something new can grow. And this is, with the Death card, a metaphor for this process within ourselves, within our personalities, within our character, within our souls, where we really learn how to let go of dead weight, where we really also go to the roots of problems. And what I also like to mention with the Death card is that we are ready for a deep transformation that goes to the roots, and that we don't even necessarily need to be ready, because the Death card death doesn't stop for anybody. Death comes to, kings and poor people and peasants and free people and artists and accountants and animals and plants. It's just unstoppable, and we have to kind of accept that now parts need to stay where they are. Parts of ourselves needs to stay where they are, so we can make new room for growth, new room for development, and we can build new fertile ground. So this is deep transformation. You're probably in the middle of it already, and you might have already felt this coming or sensed this coming, and now you're in the middle of this deep process. So this is a beautiful card, especially, of course, before we start into our sun season for the Libra suns. The month before, they often say with Pisces, with your Pisces house, which is the last house before the first house. So if you're sun or an ascendant, this is a time for Libra where we really let go of everything that is not serving us, and we are wrapping up things for the new solar year. So this is a really, really deep and also emotional card in a way, but also very freeing and relieving card at the same time. All right, so interesting. Yeah, I'm like having the death card in my environment, or for myself also when I draw my daily card, so much. It's crazy. Okay, there's 3 cards coming out. Wow. Okay, yeah. So it seems like we're really stepping into this new version of ourselves. We might have even made a very clear decision that this needs to be happening faster than we originally thought or planned, because we do have Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords, he makes very fast, rational, clear decisions. There is no way back, and as you can see, he's moving very, very fast. So he's fire and air energy, also speaking of Libra in a sense, because air energy cards and sword cards are always speaking about air signs as well. So this would be Libra, Gemini and Aquarius. And with these 8 of Wands, we might have found a moment of very fast movement. A lot of things happening, kind of like an electric energy that we're really wanting to step into this new version of ourselves quickly. I think this is happening very quickly. This happened very quickly, maybe in the last couple of weeks. We made a very, very clear decision, like this is happening now. Change is happening now. I know the change is gonna probably take some time with the death card, but I'm making the decision that now I am stepping into this new version of myself that is really ready to go deep with the death card. That is also a Scorpio card. So we're going deep, deep, deep to really transform what does not serve us anymore, to clean out the trash, to clean out the dead weight. With the Universe card, we've come to things have come to a fruition. A big, big journey, a big, big life stretch has come to an end. And we are kind of celebrating, I think, this death. We're celebrating maybe an ego death. We are celebrating maybe a complete change of environment that we are really inviting. We're I think, celebrating this new version of our life and how we want to live our lives with the Universe card, because she is dancing. She is dancing through this tunnel. This is the last card of the Major Arcana. So she's really come to the end goal, to step into this new phase of life, to this larger version of herself. So we love that. We have 2 Major Arcana, which is already very strong here. And now let's see where we step into, or what we want to further invite. 9 of Swords. Well, I'm not sure if we want to invite that, but we also have an adjustment card here, which is the Libra card. So ding, 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 jackpot. And the Moon card, of course, it's also all the time here present in my readings lately. So with the Libra card and the adjustment card here on the bottom of the deck, we do have the ability to stand in our truth, to adjust very quickly and very artfully also when it comes to our ideas, when it comes to our truth, and when it comes to staying in our mental balance. Also when it comes to finding compromise, when it comes to evening out the scales, also with people probably, because this is a relationship card. It might be now that we have, what I'm getting with the 9 of Swords here, that we have kind of a surgery type of energy here, metaphorically speaking. Of course, it doesn't mean that anybody has to have surgery, but maybe, you know, where we really cut things also maybe a little more brutally at the roots, you know, or where we cut something out of our lives that is just not there anymore. Or just not serving anymore. What we need to be careful with the 9 of Swords, though, is that we are not getting too aggressive about within our thoughts. We are not getting too brutal, and we're not getting too brutal towards ourselves either. Maybe we have to kind of somehow use a little more aggressive energy now in thinking, so we can really process this change also. We might need to be a little more calculated and distanced from our feelings, but with the Nine of Swords we also at the same time have to be careful that we are not going into, you know, cruel territory towards ourselves mostly, and therefore also not project that onto other people in our surroundings. But this can be also a very, very strong-willed, somehow even crazy-willed energy to make a change happen. This change and this transformation can also maybe bring up some fears, of course, which can also be represented by the Nine of Swords, and some anxieties, especially because we do have the Moon card here on the bottom of the deck as well. So the Moon also brings, you know, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of fear energy, because we don't really know where we're going. We know something is changing. We know it's maybe a difficult change or an intense change, but we are ready for it. But at the same time, there is uncertainty coming with it, and that can bring up some maybe uncomfortable thoughts. So we want to make sure that we handle that. All right, but as I said, we do have the Libra card here. We do have this balancing out of mental energy card here. So we are probably very capable. As I'm not reading these cards in the reverse, the Nine of Swords can also be a reversed energy where we're finally letting go of these fears. We are finally letting go of these intense thoughts, of these aggressive thoughts, of these maybe attacking thoughts towards ourselves, and we are ready to really be more diplomatic, to be more balanced, and to be more peaceful towards ourselves and our surroundings. So yeah, let's see what we have in relationships. This can be any relationship, doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, of course. It can be friendships, family, and so on. So let's see this other person. And before I start, I again say please like, subscribe, comment, and please check out my description box for information. All right, so this other person, or energies that you are drawn to or that you're inviting in right now when it comes to your relationships. Ten of Wands in the reverse. Well, there's somebody who might be like, okay, I have been carrying a lot of weight and I'm finally letting go of the weight. Maybe somebody is like realizing that something is too much for them, or that they have taken too much responsibility in the past in relationships, or in your relationship even, or that somebody is just like, okay, you're too much for me. And then we're just like, well, then you have to find somebody who is less. Maybe you are really also getting rid of people who cannot keep up with your pace, or who are not in your frequency, or who are not vibing with you. You know, there's just people, Libra in general is a very productive, accomplished, and well put together sign, you know, and they're doing their thing no matter what, and they're very independent in reality. So some people cannot maybe keep up with that, or some people might be like, oh wow, okay, this is too big of a, Libra is too big of a number for me. I cannot really relate, and I cannot pull this weight. This seems like too much work. And then, well, you probably gotta say like, yeah, well, that's too much work for you, then sorry to hear, but that is not my problem. So, okay, yeah. And maybe somebody also feels like they need to really have their boundaries up, and they're still trying to fight for this, I think, for this also attitude towards you that they can only do so much also. Let's see how this plays out with the other cards that are going to come out. But with the Seven of Wands, somebody is also drawing stricter boundaries and learning how to set better boundaries for themselves, which is a good thing, you know. If we are really also kind of like bringing that out of people, that they are ready to set boundaries and make their boundaries clear, that's a healthy thing. You know, we want to have people surrounding us who are capable of doing that. All right. We are here with the Nine of Wands. Wow, this is so interesting. So many wands. I feel like you've, with your relationship surrounding you right now, you've integrated a lot of experience. You're in the process of integrating a lot of experience. You probably have seen a lot. You have, Libra is a very, very social and very popular sign in general. So they have, in my opinion, as a Libra myself, it's like not even we have that many friends, but a lot of people think they are our friends, you know. Sorry, we have probably a lot of close, or a couple of close people, but we do have maybe a lot of acquaintances, and we have a lot of experience with people. So in general, a Libra is a sign that knows a lot about people and how to interact with them. So now I think we've learned even another final type of lesson also in our relationships, where it's just like, all right, I've seen it all. I'm gonna gain the strength out of this and move forward with this experience, which is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of strength, but a strength that comes out of experience, also maybe disappointing experience or intense experience, or experiences that at first seemed like they are weakening, or they make us, or they victimize us, or they traumatize us even. But in the end, coming out of it with the Nine of Wands, we've built some stamina through all these experiences. And as you can see, I mean, this is a beautiful illustration of this card. He's stepping up on this pyramid to the top of it, you know, and he's right in front of the top of the pyramid when it comes to reaching the end goal. Yeah, so I like that. There is a lot of fiery energy as well towards each other. Maybe you're just surrounded by a lot of people right now where there's a lot of inspiration going on. Maybe, you know, you're in an environment where there's maybe some artistic thing going on or musical thing going on. I say that because it's Libra card also, and that's all things that speak of Libra. And there's a lot of fiery inspirational energy. So maybe there's just a lot going on and you're trying to handle a lot of different people, could also be, and experiences, but you now have the strength to really do that. If it's one specific person, I think for you it's a great learning moment where you're like, oh yeah, wow, now I'm at the point where I've mastered this. The Hanged Man. Yeah, at the same time it's a surrender. Ooh, the Six of Cups. It's nice. I like it because the Six of Cups brings us this emotional connection with people, this closeness, this security, this safety. At the same time, also in this card, not necessarily in this deck, it's two children, and in other decks as well, but in the Crowley deck, it's often also sexual deep connection, could be. But here it's more about trust and about feeling safe and feeling comfortable with people, and also having pleasure in whatever sense, you know, of the word you want to use it, but pleasurable experiences that are also heartfelt and on a soul level with other people. And this is maybe what we are also surrendering to, you know. With the Hanged Man, we are in situations right now where we at the same time feel like we might be forced in situations or trapped in situations with people, but our experience helps us to also find the pleasurable moment within that, and find the trust and find the belonging and find the connection within that, even though we know we might be in a situation with people or with a special person even who might you know, show us their boundaries out of, I think, their own knowledge that they don't want to take on too much responsibilities. Maybe this is something they did in the past, you know. and they just felt like, oh, this is too much for me. I can just do what I can. And therefore both parties here, or your surroundings and you, are surrendering to this situation and learning from it and gaining really spiritual knowledge out of it, and at the same time having a pleasurable experience here and a trusting closeness here as we go through this lesson with a person or with people surrounding us maybe right now. So this is very interesting, and it's kind of complex, but also very grown up. So let's see what we have for an art oracle card. This is oracle cards that state quotes of famous artists. Oh wow, Edvard Munch. That's a famous one. Everybody knows that emoji. Yeah, and a famous painting, of course, that we know with the scream. A composed soul is not necessarily a calm one. Okay, interesting. Scream into a canvas, not a pillow. Ask anxiety to pose for you. So yeah, if you're getting anxiety, especially maybe when it comes to other people, and I think this is the change that you are going through right now, a deeper transformation might be bringing up, you know, fears from the past, experiences from the past, and you're surrendering to that here also with the 9 of Wands. You're integrating them also with the Hanged Man and understanding them, and it's, I think, just suggesting this card that we should find an expression for our anxieties and fears that might come up through this process of transformation, which is quite natural, you know, at this time. So yeah, cool, very nice reading. Again, I ask you, please check out my description box, please follow and comment and subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon again. And until then, I hope you have a great month, a great week, a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.